Welcome to the WealthGenius podcast, brought to you by the Expand Wealth Real Estate Fund. Expand your wealth by investing in apartment buildings. Go to expandwealthfund.com to book your info session. The WealthGenius podcast, strategies for multifamily real estate investing, mindset, community, success. The WealthGenius podcast with your host, the godfather of real estate, Alfonso Cuadra, who has expansive experience in business and massive success as a real estate investor. The WealthGenius podcast. Let's dive into today's episode.
We're rolling, baby. It's all good.
We are live.
We're live. Full effect. Harris, look, we met in 2017. Whoa,
7 years ago.
Woo, we're getting
Lucky 7.
Yeah, I know. You got younger. I'm getting a bit older. I lost my hair. You
Mine
kept yours.
Mine a little grayer. It's all good.
But I remember when I met you, I think you were just coming out of the bank, working at the bank or something, and we met.
30 years there.
And there was a wealth of knowledge that you had, and I remember thinking, wow, what you're just like a nice man, right?
Nice.
And we got along well, and then kind of everybody kind of went their own separate ways, and you got I'm not sure it was before the pandemic or just after the pandemic that I started to see all of the emails from you, Harris, now the mortgage broker, right?
Mortgage guy.
Yeah, and so I was like, whoa, okay. I would have said that's what he was going to do when I met you. I could see that. Coming from the banking background, banking that you had, the background in banking that you had, and then transitioning into investing and working with investors and whatnot, and being exposed to that world. I was like, that's probably the next logical step for Harris. And there you are. You're here, and you're helping a lot of investors. And it's so hard to find a true investor focused mortgage broker. And I'm happy to say, yes, you're one of them, and you're helping a lot of our members. And so welcome.
Welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
this is amazing.
Yeah. And right now we see the trend going down on these interest rates. What do you think is going to happen?
The crystal ball reading, eh?
Yeah. Are we going lower? How low can we go?
I think there's no question. We will go lower. We are starting to see the variable rates have a nice couple of dips, which has been great to see, sort of where we started from to where we're at now. There's still, I think, some runway in front of us on the variable continuing to drop. Yeah. Is it a 3/4? Is it a half? Is it 1%? Like it's somewhere in that range. Probably we'll see some further reductions as we go forward.
How much is for example, things that we can't control, elections, COVIDs, tariffs, all these things. Like what? How do we even plan for this stuff? Yeah,
it's hard to plan. I mean, you can only plan what you can plan, right? So there's only things that you can only manage things that are in your control. There's certainly a lot of noise out there, and certainly things that get in the way. But all you can really do is make decisions based on what you know today, and we can't always worry about what's going to happen tomorrow. But we are starting to see certainly the climate come back. We'll certainly keep an eye on employment numbers and different components that do play into certainly the rates and when our Bank of Canada governor makes decisions on those. We aren't seeing the same on the fixed. The fixed rates are not happening the same. So that's where I'm getting a lot of questions on. I'm like, what's going on with fixed? Why are they not coming down? I just heard a reduction in Bank of Canada, but the fixed didn't move. And I think what clients don't realize or members don't realize is the fix is based on the bond market and the Bank of Canada is based on the variable and the line of credit.
Yeah, so I saw that there was we were doing really good. I think last week the bond was at 2 point something, and then it creeped back up. And
we started to see some banks start to move the rates up too.
Yeah.
Like we haven't seen that in a while, but now because of the pressure on the bond market, the fixed terms, we started to see some upward movement last week, which obviously gets a little concerning.
Yeah.
You're starting to see a little more parity between where the prime is at now and certainly sort of a 3-year kind of range.
Yeah.
Which again has been the hot spot right now. Most have been going into 3 years just because the 1 and 2 year rates are still high. And the 5 years is too long. You can't go into 5 years right now just based on, unless you're going variable.
Yeah.
But if you're going 5 year fixed, there's too long to lock in right now with knowing the rates are moving downwards.
What's from going from banking to mortgage broker to, I also saw you're investing as well, and so what?
I'm following your footsteps. Multifamily.
No, but was this a plan? Like, did you have this plan when you were young? Like, what did you want to do when you grew up? You know, like what was
I wanted to play for the Blue Jays. That was my ultimate.
Really?
That was my ultimate dream, was to be a baseball player.
Wow.
That was my
I think we have that in
dream.
common. I don't think we've ever shared that with me.
That was my ultimate dream, was to be a baseball player. That didn't happen. Start off working part-time in a bank, and 27 years later, didn't leave. So no one knew that. But I mean, my passion's always been about being entrepreneurial. And my passion in the 27 years I was at the bank, the part I loved out of all the different jobs I did over that history was the lending. And for me, it was always about being able to put a smile on someone's face, whether it was a car loan or whether it was a mortgage or whether we're doing a refinance to help somebody in trouble. So for me, it was always taking out a blank piece of paper and really building.
And you were doing that at the bank?
Yeah, well, I used to actually run the credit center for the bank.
Yeah.
So I had a number of analysts that actually underwrote all the credit for TD Bank at the time. So from Atlantic Canada, Ontario, through to BC.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my passion out of my career there.
And what made you get into being a mortgage broker? Like what kind of what was the spark for you?
For me, I missed it, actually. I really missed, after I kind of left the banking sector for a while, and that's where we kind of connected, learned a lot sitting in your weekend events, listening to the passion and the enthusiasm, going like, how do I become an Alfonso?
Yeah.
How do I become a mini Godfather? But for me, it was listening and getting so excited about it. And, for me, I had a late start. I didn't start till I was 50.
Wow.
So for me, it's never too late to start.
Yeah.
And I think that was a lesson I learned from everyone was...
So did you start getting into investing first, and then said, "Oh, maybe I could do this. I could be a broker, mortgage broker."
Yeah. So I started investing in multifamily. So again, never bought an investment property my entire life, other than principal residence. It's all we kind of had over the years.
How many units was your first deal?
9 doors.
Wow, that must have been like a monster to you, right? You're going from no investing right
into an apartment building, small apartment building.
Yeah, that's excellent.
It was amazing.
I'm so happy. You made my day.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. But yeah, it was a ton of fun and a lot of learning. Right? Again, you sit in the weekend events and you learn a lot from you as a speaker and certainly the teams around you. But there's stuff you're just gonna walk into, right? And it's how to mitigate that, or how to have a system to reach out to people, a community, saying, "Have you ever had this happen or not?" And so that's where we learned. So yeah, I started to get into real estate investing on the multifamily side, and then from there, I'm going, I really miss this lending. I really miss lending, and so I had my mortgage agent license years ago. I just never used it.
Wow,
I had it years ago. I just put it on the
shelf.
shelf.
think you might have gotten it for the bank, or
no? I never got it from the bank. The bank I didn't need it.
Oh, so you thought, so it was just like a matter of this is kind of already was something that you planned on doing.
I left the bank, and then I said, what, I want to, at some point, I'm going to do it. I wrote the exam, put it aside, and went back into doing sort of the educating and certainly working with the events and stuff like that. And then I go, what, I missed it. I really need to start dusting it off. And so that's what happened. I ended up getting involved with TMG, the mortgage group, where I am. And they've been an amazing family to be a part of. And
how long has it been now?
I started in 2021.
Wow. So 4 years, going on 5.
Going on 4 years now.
4 years, January. 4 years.
And the beauty of the organization is I can do coast to coast. And so I'm not just restricted to Ontario. I'm doing deals in Alberta. We're doing deals in New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, BC,
Saskatchewan.
Quebec. Yeah. Saskatchewan. I've got a 10-unit building. Someone's just reached me out to me this week on.
Wow.
In Saskatchewan. And
so you can help.
Swift Current.
Nice. Swift Current. Oh, yeah, that's a good place. Yeah, no, I know Saskatchewan very well.
I know you do.
So, now you're helping out these investors and you're, investor-focused mortgage broker. Tell me about MLI Select, and tell me about your idea. Your idea. What do you believe? Do you believe in it? Do you like it? I think it's a great incentive. I don't know why they keep changing rules.
That's the challenge.
And that's what I think is challenging for me.
Well, because you start going down a path, and all of a sudden, like we had a client we just wrapped up. We were going down the energy efficiency route. Yeah. So, for those that may not be aware, there's really 3 major components. There's the energy efficiency, accessibility, and affordability. So those are the 3 key areas where you can score points as part of the MLI Select program. And, I think the more points you score, then the longer the potential amortization.
Yeah.
So those are the benefits of going into MLI Select. It is a great product. It just takes some time. You got to have patience, and you got to plan for the unexpected, because you're going to you may waive your financing condition and not be CMHC approved yet.
Yeah, no, that I'm finding that the way they change these rules, it's kind of abrupt. And
there's no warning.
Yeah, so if there was a warning, then you could say, okay, that's it. The people that are outside the barn,
they're either in the queue or you're out the queue.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like you close the doors and the horses are still out of the barn. You
Absolutely.
know what I mean?
And now they're all running around going, how do I do this now?
Yeah. So I don't like that, but I love the product. We've used it a few times already. We squeezed in our file before
the premium changes?
Yeah, the premium changes.
Yeah, that was the first big change.
That was 3,500 applications,
which clogged the entire system.
Yeah, that was insane. So that they should learn from that. They should, you don't just all of a sudden,
switch on a dime.
Yeah, but
it's the government.
Yeah, that's it. There's no logic to anything they do anyways. But I like the product. And what do you think should happen to stimulate like the housing market? I don't think this is just like little band-aids. Like this is just like a little incentive to get people going. But how do you create a craze where everyone's in their grandmother's building and it just we have to go through this massive boom?
It's an explosion.
That's what we need to happen in order
we need
to
basically immigration.
Yeah.
There's not enough properties. There's not enough houses or units to put people in right now.
Yeah. Well, they right now they've paused immigration, right? But I'm gonna say that there's gonna be a massive influx of people coming in from the U.S.
Absolutely.
Illegals, right? So we can't. That pause is not going to solve the housing crisis, right?
No.
So
how do we build fast?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we're seeing an impact in the condo market right now. We got a whole bunch of inventory.
Yeah, but that's also difficult because those are bought as homes.
Correct.
And
we need rental units.
You got $1.5 million for a little 350 square foot condo. No one's going to live there. You can't rent that and make any. You can't rent it out.
The numbers won't work.
So a lot of people are going to have to lose those, or what do you think is going to happen?
I think you're going to start seeing people figure out how to do like additions onto their house, right? You're going to see ADUs. So that is probably becoming, in certain pockets of the country now, is becoming acceptable. And we're starting to see more municipalities coming in to authorize that or to mandate it, which I think will be a big win. You're going to see people adding on to their homes going, I got some extra square footage in the back here on a lot. Why don't I add a couple of units here?
Yeah.
So that's where I think you're going to see sort of that next bit of craze, short of, someone going through an MLI Select program, building an apartment building, right? So another opportunity. But, that will require time, resources, and capital. But those are definitely solutions that we need to see, and especially as we look at different parts of the country where we're struggling. I'm
curious to see your opinion. We just had someone here. He's from Alberta, and the praise was going, to him where it's like Alberta's hot. It's a good market. What do you think is going to happen in Ontario? Like where are we at? And are we going to be able to build enough? Is it going to be affordable again? Where's your crystal ball?
Let me pull it out for you. I think Ontario still is a great place to invest. There's no question. It's again, there's pockets in Ontario where there's certainly more lucrative opportunities to go into. Certainly having the numbers work in certainly bigger pockets, GTA and other areas, can be a challenge. But there's certainly Hamilton. There's different areas that you look at through Ontario, Ottawa. Yeah. So when you think about different pockets that are out there, there's tremendous opportunity. It's just getting the numbers to work, and that's I think where people are sort of going. Rates coming back down, I think it's going to have an influence now, because that'll help align with the sort of the affordability on the monthly financing costs. Because you have people that are buying condos right now that are upside down at the moment, right? And that's what they're finding because they bought them 3, 4, 5 years ago, and they're now coming to fruition with the higher rates that they've been experiencing. But I think that there's definitely no question Ontario is an opportunity here. Alberta has and continues to be certainly a hotspot. I mean, we just did another MLI Select out in Alberta, ironically. So.
Yeah, no, I see definitely, and I was curious on your opinion. I definitely see Ontario still moving forward.
Absolutely.
You know, and strong. Ontario will always be Ontario. I mean, half of the population of Canada lives in Ontario, right? So it's very difficult to go back from that. You know, I think the opportunity lies in the secondary and tertiary markets that are supported by a major market.
For sure.
Right? So, you know, things that are just a little bit outside.
Outside the purview.
Now, it's a bit of a double-edged sword. So the further you go, there you do see cap rates go up, but also some of these lenders maybe don't want to take risks in these markets, right? So the pool of lenders that you have access to, you know, maybe shrinks. And so do you find that?
You find that, I mean, again, depending on the size of the commercial lending one's doing, right? I mean, if you're doing commercial lending, there's very few that are playing in the under $2 to $3 million mark. Mm-hmm. So right away, you're in if that's what your numbers are looking like, there's not a large pool for us to go to. So there are some good lenders out there that we can go to, but typically in that when you get into that bigger size volume, then that opens up doors. Mm-hmm. I'm finding a lot of investors now investing outside of where they reside. So now it's kind of going like, where do the investments make sense? So you got clients in BC investing in New Brunswick, or you got folks investing in Alberta or Saskatchewan. So they're not always necessarily investing in. It's getting people comfortable, right? Because you can't just drive by and see what's going on. So it's putting the team together, like, you know, making sure you got your realtor, your property manager, your mortgage broker, like putting that whole team, assembling it together is key. So it gives you the confidence that you could actually invest outside where your money can go further, and you could pick up 2 or 3 properties versus being sort of cash strapped to only do one in your backyard possibly.
And when you work with a client, how do you want them to, like, what do you expect from them? Like, should they have a deal in place already? Should they be under contract? How do you want to work with your clients?
I think the way I work typically is I'll have an introductory call. And so let's get on the phone, let's get on Zoom.
Even if they don't have a deal.
Even if they don't have a deal. I can't tell you how many times I have an initial introductory call with a client. You know, it could take 3 to 6 to 12 months for a deal to take place.
Yeah. But especially in multifamily, it's a slow game.
Absolutely. If you're buying a duplex or triplex, it would be quicker probably. But more importantly, it's really about putting the game plan, the strategy together. Like, that's the important. I've had clients come to me and say, hey, I bought a place. Great. Where's the down payment come from? Oh, I need to get a refinance on my house. Well, we should have done the refinance on the house
to be ready.
Before you bought that. So we've had that happen a few times where clients have kind of gotten so super excited to go they found the property they want, and they pull the trigger, and then all of a sudden they realized we got a problem now. And so having that conversation, let's understand what the vision board is, what's the strategy you're looking to accomplish, and let's put the appropriate plans in place to make that happen. So if a refinance is required, then we can put that in place. You don't want to be doing multiple properties at the same time, because all of a sudden you're stress testing yourself at a much higher rate and qualification. Yeah. Now we've got 2 properties potentially being stress tested at a higher level than if we already have the mortgage in place or refinance on the existing property, then we've got the money ready to go spend. Mm-hmm. And so typically I'll have an introductory call to get things rolling, and then we'll send out an application. We'll start to gather the documents. It's all stored inside a portal where it's safe and secure. And then when they're ready, we then go.
Love it. I know you can help a lot of people. You know, congratulations on all the success that you've had. You know, and also the friendship. You know, I know you reached out during COVID at some point. We got on a call or something, and I appreciate that. And you know, I think great
to work with all.
I think you're a caring person, and that makes you good at what you do. And so I want to know what inspires you. Like what gets you going? What gets Harris like moving forward?
For me, what gets me going is really thinking about what's my goals and my objectives, and really how to help people. I mean, that's what it comes down to. Like 30 years in the banking business has always been about like helping that client. The client experience is paramount. Mm-hmm. You know, again, you want always to get repeat business. You want to have certainly referrals and things like that are all lovely. But at the end of the day, it's really about how did I help accomplish what this client's goals were? Did I actually get them the mortgage financing they wanted to accomplish the property they want? So that gets me super excited and jazzed. And so every day is a different level, because you never know what that client's needs are going to be. Some I've got to do, you know, $200,000 debt consolidations because they've gotten themselves into some trouble. Yeah. So, you know, they're already talking about doing ADUs. I'm like, let's pause on the ADUs for a moment. Let's kind of get the credit cleaned up, and then we can move to phase 2. But that's really sort of building that blueprint out for that client. That's what gets me super excited, how to help put a smile on someone's face.
I love it. And you got me smiling. Harris, thank you for coming by. We're gonna do it again.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're gonna do it again.
Love it.
And thank you for hanging out this weekend. We're gonna have a good time. And that's it. That's all she wrote. Alfonso loves you, and we'll see you all at the top. Woo!